Good morning. It is January 15th, 5:35 in the morning. It's a Saturday. This week is finished as far as the work week is considered. This week is finished. I'm still out here. Yesterday we had our vaccination booster shots. And so if you're looking for a video yesterday, that's why we didn't get it. That's why we didn't make it, because we had an early morning. Had to eat up a lot and drink a lot of water, and for the rest of the day I got back home. Yeah, my body's feeling sore. My right arm is pretty sore right now too. That's where I got the injection, and I think it's sore because of the placement of the needle. And when they stab you, if they're not careful and they hit where's the dog over here running? If they're not careful and they hit the muscle, I think that's what leads to this muscle soreness this morning. So even doing this, the muscles pinch each other, and yeah, that hurts. But yesterday, yeah, we got our day started early, and so I didn't come down here, and I got to sleep in a little bit, but that's all right. One thing I thought about yesterday, because I was kind of happy I missed yesterday, but I thought about this morning. I'm like, you cannot miss twice. Don't miss twice. Atomic habits, don't miss twice, because the third day, oh, you give yourself so much more leeway to miss it again. Anyway, so I'm happy we're back down here doing our exercises. The weather is pretty nice. It's one of those things, like, I think it was 3 months ago and I walked out this morning with this kind of weather, that would have been wow. And I was. If you watch some of the videos back from earlier, I was really like ecstatic that the weather was nice and cool. And now it's become commonplace, and so I'm not so exuberant at the idea of really cool weather in the mornings. And it just goes to show that anything that happens over and over and over, you get used to it, and then you may actually start taking it for granted until the weather changes and it gets nice and warm again. And then you're like, oh, I wish I had the weather that was in January, late December. Which, by the way, if you plan to come to Vietnam, is the best time to come. Towards early December till maybe about mid-February. That's probably the most pristine weather that you'll get here in Ho Chi Minh City. Other parts of the city are really, really cold, and they get colder during the year. But as far as I know, Ho Chi Minh City's best weather is from December to about February. So if you're planning a trip, welcome to come at those times. I've been reading again my Atomic Habits book, and one thought that really stuck out to me this morning was that outcomes are lagging results of good habits. Outcomes are lagging habits. Outcomes are delayed habits. So start eating today. The outcome will be that you'll feel better about yourself, your health. You'll see weight loss. If you start today, you'll see weight loss maybe in about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I remember when I go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you start working out today, you won't see those results until 3 weeks later, 3 or 4 weeks later. So if you don't see it right now, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's just that the result is being delayed if you keep up the good habits. And the reason why we use habits is habits are just mental shortcuts of how we are able to figure out solutions and problems. So you have a problem, and then humans go into the mode of figuring out problems is just trial and error, and it's frustrating in the moment until you find the way to figure it out. And you trial and error, and then when you finally figure it out, all that effort and all of that processes that you went through, your mind gets rid of and just saves the process that worked. And then you create a habit for yourself. When you meet this situation, you do this, and this is what works. And the reason that we make mental shortcuts in our head is because it relieves a lot of mental energy from our cognitive minds. And so our minds can only focus at one task at a time. And so when we figure out these things that we naturally react to, and we create these habits, then our brain is more freed up to have more creativity, to have something else move into that space in order to help us to develop more, use our critical thinking on more essential activities. That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. And so yeah, whenever I wake up, then I see my shoes. I put my shoes on. That putting on my shoes and my earbuds, that signals to me that I'm going to go and do my workout. That is something that is in response that I've figured out, or I've worked through over and over in order to make it a habit. Put on my shoes, go work out. Put on my shoes, go work out. And the converse is the same as well. If you associate negative things with a certain situation, so you're feeling stressed at work, so you reach for the bottle, you drink the bottle, you feel good, and so now your mind connects feeling good with reaching for the bottle. And every time now that you want to feel good, your mind created this shortcut that says, I want to feel good, I'll reach for the bottle, and I feel good. Yeah, so that was a nice and it gets quicker as well. So there was a professor named Professor Thorndike, and he did an experiment on these cats, how to figure out, basically they have a lever to push and then a door will open, and if the door opens, then they get their food. So he puts them into this box, and he logs how long did cat number 18, cat number 18 take to open that door. So he puts it in the box and he logs down the times, and it went something like 180 seconds, 140 seconds, 150 seconds, 170 seconds, 100 seconds, 80 seconds, 70, 50, 40, 30, 20, 18, 10, 7, 6, 6, 7, 5, 8, 7. So what he noticed that in the first 10 results, the average time for a cat to go through the maze and open up the lever, the average time was about 1.5 minutes. But the last average time was about 6 seconds. So the cat just basically learned. It learned that, okay, if I get put into here, I'll go through the maze and I'll touch that and the door will open and I'll get my reward. And the cat learned that. And so basically that was the foundation of habit research. And so we're the cat. We get put into a situation, we know where the switch is, and so we've trained ourselves, we've developed this habit that we just go reach for that button and we get the reward. And so basically that's what the whole book is about. It's about the 4 pillars of habit formation. And the reason habit formation is a part of our life is, the overlying theme of the book is habits are mental shortcuts. And we only have so much real estate in our minds in order to use that mental real estate. And so we have to make habits so that we can get all the fundamental stuff out of the way, the non-critical thinking things out of the way, and we can use our brains for more cognitive critical thinking. I'm talking in loops right now. Thank you guys very much for watching. Yeah, we had plans to go to Dalat next week, Wednesday, but we're canceling those plans. Something came up, and we'll just have to plan for another day, another time, maybe later on in the year. So thank you guys very much for checking up on me. If you want to leave a comment down below, please feel free to do so. Always love reading your guys' comments, and I will reply to your comments. Love you guys. Aloha. Take care. And remember, self-discipline, as hard as it is, I'm struggling too, is the name of the game. So keep it up. Love you guys. Aloha.